Alright, I'm out here at the same place I'm cutting that Osage orange tree down. I wanted to show you this guy right here. It's called the Kudzu. 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 Okay, see how it has them lobes on the leaves? Okay, it's not going to be really hairy up the base of a tree. It's going to grow all over the place. This is the vine that you'll see wrapping around your car within a week. Known as the vine that took over the South. You know, it's all them little strings you see there are all kudzu vines wrapping around in here. But I have a good use for them, and scientists may have a good use for them. Supposedly, these vines here can help cure alcoholism. So that's a plus. But I'm going to use this to make baskets. This right here is great cordage. And I wanted to shoot a basket video in Florida, and I'll show you the baskets I made there. I just never had the time, never got to it. But I can show you with this guy. It's a beautiful vine. It's super strong. I can wrap this around my finger like this, and I'm going to pull down as hard as I can, and it won't break. This stuff is super flexible, super strong. You could make yourself some really strong cordage with this. Once it dries out, it's not as strong, but hey, it'll work for what you got to do at the time you got to do it. Okay guys, I'm going to be showing you how to make a basket today. I want to show you a couple things I made. The ones I made here are all from Florida. I never had time to shoot the video, like I said, to show you how to make them there. But this here is from a greenbrier vine. It kind of all fell apart on its journey here, but this wasn't meant to be a basket. This is supposed to be a little bit of a chandelier type deal. It would just kind of hang. It was a lot bigger. I had this on here too. Okay, I just coiled it up, and I was going to hang it somewhere in the room and maybe put a couple other things on it. Never did it. But that's greenbrier, which is here in Tennessee as well. This and this was a couple baskets I had. My parents have two French Brittany's, and they came along and decided to chew these up, so they're not quite what they used to be. This one here is made out of that same seed pod that I made those boats out of, and it's really good for making baskets. You just got to split this thing down into little fine pieces, and this one was a hourglass shape, so it kind of came up and out, and you can make baskets into any shape you want. Okay, and this one was greenbrier spokes right here. The spokes is something you're going to need to make the basket, and them were the spokes was greenbrier, and this here is muscadine grapevine, which I just got down in Florida. And this one looked like this. I had a little bit left over, and I made my wife a little tiny basket just to make her giggle. So that's what the big one looked like, this one. Now, the importance of making baskets is to collect things. If you need to get nuts, berries, wild edibles, anything you need to carry, you could make yourself a backpack out of one to carry stuff. Say you lost your backpack and you need something to carry what you have on you, or gather more resources. You're going to make a bow drill set, and you want to carry it with you, and you need your hands free. You can make something out of this, and you don't have to make a basket. You can make flat, like instead of weaving it up, you could weave it out and make yourself a big square, and then it becomes kind of like a blanket, and you could attach little handles on there to fold it up, put it on your back and carry it. There's a lot of materials you can use other than just vines. I've showed you can use a seed pod. That's the queen palm. You can use bark like basswood, willow. You can use some shoots of bamboo. You can use pine needles to make a pine needle basket. You know, in Florida there's the longleaf pine. You can use that for sure. And you know, there's multiple ways to make a basket. You can make baskets out of string, you know, anything you can think of that's bendable and maneuverable that you can weave into a basket. So keep your mind open with the possibilities of what you can use. If you can't find any vines, start testing barks on trees. I'm going to be using Kudzu vine that I showed you. It's been sitting out a little bit, so I soaked it in water because it started to get a little dry. If you make it the day of, you don't need to. This stuff is super strong, and it still is. I can wrap it around my finger. That's 3 wraps right there. And then pull on it, it ain't breaking. This stuff's no joke. So, first thing we need to do is find some about this size right here, and we're going to cut. I'm just going to make a small basket for this video, so I'll probably grab 8 total, which would mean 4 of these, and the desired length of your basket. If you want a huge basket, you know, the size of a garbage can, you're going to need longer spokes, because you got to think, you cut it this long, you're going to fold it up and it's only going to be this big. So 1 of these equals 2, and if say you have 4, that means you're going to have 8 spokes, and you need to cut 1 after you get your basket started, which I'll show you how to do. You're going to cut 1 off because you need an uneven number or it won't work, because you're going to go over, under, and once you get all the way around, if you have an even number, it'll just overlap itself. Alright, I cut 5 of these out, so that means I'm going to have 10, but I need to remove 1, so 9 spokes. Okay, so what we want to do now, you put it into a cross pattern. Okay, you can get them as even as possible. You know, baskets are pretty maneuverable, so you don't have to have everything perfect, especially if you're just out making something in the wild for your own well-being. If you're making something crafty for sale, then you need to be a little more careful. Okay, so you want about like that. You can do 3 here and 2 here, or vice versa. Doesn't matter, because you're all going to spread out anyways. So once you get that pattern started, okay, you set that on the ground. You're going to come over here and you're going to find something smaller. Okay, you want to start with the smallest piece you can find. So I'm going to bring you in a little closer here to show you this. It's pretty simple. I have a strand. It's, I don't know, 3 feet long, and that's okay. Just need enough to get yourself started. Okay, so what you're going to do, you're going to take this and you're going to do a weave in a crisscross pattern. You're going to create an X. Okay, and you need to do this just enough to get it started. And then you're going to begin to do over and under. Okay, so you're going to come, show you what I did there. Okay, see the X there that I made? You're going to repeat that, and you're going to wrap around this and then start the X in opposite directions. So I'm holding right here with this finger, I'm holding the very beginning, and now with this hand I'm going to begin wrapping and using this finger on this hand to help me. So I'm just going to keep going around and tying everything together. You can probably tell why it's important to have a small piece. That big piece would be giving you a hassle, it's just too bulky. Okay, so you can see it's already holding it together. And you want this nice and tight too. Okay, and you don't want any more than 3 feet for your beginning, because it's just going to get too big. Okay, and when you're finished, when you get to the very end like this, you'll take and just tuck this in a little piece here and get it started here. Okay, see right there what I did? Tucked it in there. I'm going to pull that tight, and what you're going to do is you're going to slowly start working these out, doing your over and under pattern. Okay, so you can take your fingers right now and kind of space them out, and like this one here, you can see this one's a little bit taller than this one, and that's alright, we can adjust that. You just pull, Now they're a little bit closer. Okay, so don't worry if things aren't even right off the bat. You can adjust as you go. Okay, so this is ready to go here. It's as simple as just starting to weave. There's no special technique. I like to just tuck it up under one, and then I begin my over under. Now I started this one under, so now I'm going to go over. And you want to pull this in there real tight. Keep everything tight. And kudzu vine's really good for this when you get it wet, because it doesn't break and you can really pull on it and tighten it up. Grapevine works pretty good too. Now when you're doing this, you're going to slowly start to position your spokes where you want them. Okay? So just begin that over under. Now the beginning is important because that's when you're going to have to make that cut. Okay, so I'm wrapping over and under all the way back to where I started. So this spoke here, which actually I don't like anyways because it has that big kink in it, is going to be removed. So we're going to remove this spike. You don't want to take it too far, but you don't want to leave too much. So very carefully come in there and you're going to pop that off right there with your knife or scissors or whatever you got on you. So we eliminated a spoke. Now you're ready to really start going, and it's really simple. You're just going to go out, and the first thing you're going to do, you're going to go out as far as you want the base to be. Okay, if you want the base this big, you're going to go that far out flat, and then you're going to begin to slowly pull these in and work them up. Okay, so we're going to just start weaving. Okay, so you just saw me weave my bottom out. Okay? That's kind of what you look for. You see how tight I have everything in there? You want it as tight as you can get it. And this kudzu vine's great for that because it doesn't break when you do it. Okay? So right here is where it ended. So what you're going to do is you're just going to take this and you're going to tuck it up into one of these. You're going to make your last, right here I'm supposed to go under. So I'm going to go under, I'm going to tuck this up in here, I'm going to pull it as tight as I can get it, and you're just going to kind of tuck it away. Okay, it's just going to become blended. See, you can't even tell where I just did that. Okay, now you notice how I have my spokes all spaced out the way I want them. Okay, kind of looks like a spider. You're going to start it by just tucking the little piece in here, just like you did on everything else, and then you're going to start again over under. But now I'm going to start bringing this up. Or you can do a rapid, straight up. You can do this. You can do what I did with that seed pod basket, and you can come in. Okay, you can come in like this, and then right back out and make a hourglass type shape. Okay, so this is what I've gotten here in just a short amount of time. Okay, you can see that I just kind of took it straight up. I still have my flat bottom. Alright, I decided to come back out this morning and finish this basket up for you. It's just a small one, like I said, just for show. You can make this a lot bigger. You can go way up here, all the way to about that much left. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut these down a little bit, and then we're going to start tucking them in to finish our basket. Okay, so I went through and evened all these out, sliced them all off the same length, and I did that by measuring my finger here and coming up here and getting it about the same. Because you're going to come and you're going to tuck this, you're going to bring this over here, come right there, tuck it in, tuck it away. Okay, so you just push that in there real tight, and it just becomes part of the basket. Okay, so there's one. Okay, and you're just going to go the same direction, and don't tuck on the opposite side, tuck on the side closest to the one you're doing. Okay, and if you end up with a little piece like that, you can cut that off or leave it. It don't matter. It's the bottom of the basket. Okay, and there it is. Okay, I got some trimming to do. Now, I guess what you could do is, if you wanted this to have a stand on it, make these a little bit longer. Put sticks in there. If you want a handle, you do the same thing. You would find an open weave right here, like this hole. Stick a piece of vine down here, and maybe weave it in a little bit in the bottom to get it stuck on there good. And then come directly across, make sure it's centered. Put one on this side. And that's how you have a handle. There's your basic basket. Okay, I just wanted to show you that because, like I said, it's important. There's plenty of things you can use. I talked about willow and the basswood and barks and things and vines, and I don't think I mentioned down in Florida you can use palm leaves and palmetto leaves. Those work pretty good. You could use cabbage palm fronds, the stem I made the bow drill out of. You could use that by cutting it up into them small fibers I show you on my cordage video. And you could definitely make a basket out of that.